Let's go ahead and create our first tool. We're going to start by creating the essay writer tool for Study Genie. So the first thing we're going to do is click on new entry. Obviously, the type of thing is tool, but let's go ahead and change the name here to essay writer. We're going to go ahead and add a description. Write your essay in just minutes, in just seconds. Let's go ahead and set, actually, let's go ahead, name of input. So this will be, the input would be topic. Now, the next thing we're going to do is add a character limit for that input. So for topic, I don't see anybody really writing over 200 characters. So each letter is associated to a character. This is really just to make sure people, stay within their token usage and, don't just spam the application. So after we have that done, now we're going to jump over into prompt start. So this is going to be where we create, actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and just add the max tokens. We're going to make that 700. This will be the max tokens our API is willing to essentially process. The reason is obviously if the more tokens that you use through your API, the more it'll cost you. So we do want to have some sort of limit here for the max token someone can use within a tool. Now let's go back to prompt start. This is going to be the actual prompt itself that we are going to be really submitting to ChatGPT. Now, the thing is, obviously, we don't have, the reason we have the inputs is to take in, the user's dynamic data. So whatever they want to add to our tool to customize. And then we need to submit the prompt with whatever text the user inputted within that input field. So we kind of combine both together. So you kind of build the initial framework of the prompt within the tool, and then you use the dynamic data that the user decides to, type in to kind of adjust that prompt to fit that user's initial needs. So we're going to go ahead and write for the prompt, write me an essay based on the following topic. So in this example, obviously we're taking into consideration their topic, but as an essay writer, we need to write the essay based on whatever information the user inputted in that field. Now, the last thing we're going to do here is add prompt before input topic. So let's just say, for example, you want to improve the prompt a little bit more. As of right now, the following prompt is write me an essay based on the following topic. Now, we are only asking the user to input a topic, but let's just say we want to ask the user another question, just to adjust the prompt a little bit more. So for example, let's go ahead and add another input. In input 2, let's do tone of voice. Now, so we've got topic, tone of voice. Now, the prompt before input, we are also going to need to add tone of voice. And now if we go ahead and actually, we need to adjust the prompt. So this is a very important part. So write me an essay based on the following topic and tone of voice, just so AI is very clear on exactly how to analyze the dynamic data that the user submitted, really to get the best response. So after you're done with all of this, go ahead and let's create this tool. So click create. So as you guys can see here, we've got our essay writer tool. Now let's go ahead and just modify a couple of changes to this before we give it a test. Let's go ahead and just click this edit button. We need to add a character limit for input 2 for tone of voice. Just make that 100. Let's actually set this to 1,000. And let's go ahead and save this. So if we jump back in to our dashboard, we should be able to see essay writer right here. Obviously, we didn't assign it a filter category yet, but no big deal. Essay writer, write your essay in just seconds. We'll go ahead and click on this. Let's do topic, artificial intelligence and its future impact on society. And as you can see here, number of characters are displayed. Let's make this professional. And we'll go ahead and generate. So our prompt has finally generated here. We've got generation 1, artificial intelligence and its future impact on society. So obviously it is kind of a professional tone of voice, but let's go ahead and try something different. Let's do funny for the tone of voice and click generate. Now, it might take a little while just because it is writing an entire essay. So we'll just wait to see that output. All right, so we got our funny response, and this is definitely a little bit more personable. Oh boy, here we go, talking about artificial intelligence and its future impact on society. It's like we're living in a sci-fi movie. So this is a much better, obviously, it took into consideration the tone of voice that we wanted to use, as well as the topic that we wanted it to talk about. And you can simply copy that, and you're set. So ultimately, I want you guys to go ahead. We will do another example of adding a couple other tools here in the next lesson. But if you want to just get a jump start on it and you want to start playing around with some of these prompts and the potential tools that we're going to be using in Study Genie, obviously you have access to the flow charts. You can see the different tools that we're going to build, and you can kind of take the initiative and start building some of these tools on your own, playing around with the prompts, playing around with the different inputs, seeing how these different inputs, really affect that final output. The other thing too to take into consideration is using Playground. Obviously, we covered that in a couple lessons ago, and using Playground to really play around with your prompt. Prompt engineering is a huge skill right now. So if this is something you want to learn to really build the best possible AI tools, I definitely suggest playing around with Playground, as well as obviously playing around with Bubble, adding a few of the new tools that we are going to add in this project if you want to go ahead and get a jump start on it. But this is really kind of the nitty gritty of the platform and of building an AI tool, is really figuring out how to adjust these prompts. And obviously you guys now know how to build new tools using the template. We try to make it as easy as possible for you guys to start playing around with some of these changes, and making your own dynamic changes based on whatever software you might be building. And if you're following along Study Genie, great. But after, you will now understand kind of the capabilities of what you can do within Bubble and within this template, and how you can kind of use it to give you a jump start and have, in a sense, a working MVP. After we added that, first tool, it really kind of displays to us that, hey, this is something we can build. We kind of have a working prototype here, and let's build on top of it, optimize it, and make it better. So hopefully that was helpful, but I will see you guys in the next lesson.